Hi, folks. It's Gary here, and very warm welcome to the fourth official here on YouTube. Now we are joining you 24 hours after the final Old Firm game of this current season, and as always, with these matches, there is plenty to talk about, even though the league title has long gone, having been confirmed by Celtic last weekend. Rangers versus Celtic is always a big deal when the two teams come up against each other on the field, and yesterday was no different. And what wasn't helped was before the game, the Union Bears in the Copeland Road stand displaying a large tifo um, banner depicting Graham Souness with a picture from 1982 alongside the words "Take aim against rebel scum." And I think it's fair to say it hasn't gone down terribly well. And in the aftermath of the game, the Rangers board hit out at the Rangers support for an unacceptable tifo being involved before the game. The display from Rangers allowed them to come out with this saying, "We acknowledge that the tifo displayed prior to kick-off crossed a line and was unacceptable. Our approach to supporter displays has always been built on trust, with the responsibility placed on groups to exercise good judgment. We will reflect on how these displays are managed and engage with supporter groups to ensure that the right balance of trust, responsibility, and oversight is maintained going forward. Rangers is proud of its passionate fan base, and we all share a duty to protect the standards and reputation of our club." Now, what has happened in the aftermath of that Rangers statement coming out has been uh, widespread condemnation of not only the content of the banner, but the fact that obviously Rangers are currently undergoing a takeover piece. And I think it's fair to say that that image piece that Patrick Stewart and the current Rangers board is trying to protect as being something that can get sold this summer is something they're obviously looking to try and harness. On the flip side, the Rangers support is looking at it and going, well, has similar incendiary banners from other parts of Scottish football been given the same level of scrutiny and condemnation? And the answer to that is probably not. Today, we're seeing reports coming out that Police Scotland are looking into the banner, having received complaints last night. And I think it's fair to say that that then has created a bit of noise on social media regarding whether or not there is two-tier policing, different standards, Ranger support being held to a different standard than other people, and you'll certainly have your own opinions when it comes to that. But one thing that is for sure is that by displaying that banner yesterday, what was by some people's standards a meaningless Old Firm game, given that the league had already gone, we're coming out of it still talking about it and not talking about matters that were on the park. And listen, there's plenty of matters about what happened on the pitch for that 90 minutes at Ibrox yesterday that can be talked about and will be talked about. And you can get our full match coverage over on our Patreon channel. It's patreon.com/the fourth official to get the full breakdown on what happened on the pitch yesterday. But again, it's off the field matters that dominate the headlines coming out of the match, dominate the back pages and the front pages of the newspapers, will dominate the rhetoric that will come out. And listen, you can understand that given that the fact that the game didn't necessarily mean too much. Something like this gives people something to talk about. And given the ongoing battle, I think, between the club and some element of the support off the back of the UEFA fines and the threats and the banner that was displayed against Olympiacos, which created a great deal of frustration. The fact that yet again yesterday there were incidents regarding bottles being thrown onto the field of play and coins. And listen, that's a completely separate matter to the fact that there was a banner displayed before the game, and that is something that has been rightly condemned by every Rangers supporter that I've seen and engaged with over the course of the last 24 hours. So that will be dealt with separately, but this banner will be the headline coming out of the game, and it creates another battle that will be going on between the most vocal part of the Rangers support being the Ultras group, the Union Bears, and the fact that once again the Rangers board under Patrick Stewart has came out and had criticism flying towards them for the display of that, and we've seen comments regarding the board being very woke and not defending the Rangers support against the kind of wider community. And I think while some of that is fair, what you've got to look at is the fact that Patrick Stewart's job at the moment is to come in, steady the ship following John Bennett having had to leave the post on health grounds. The board is obviously massively trying to rebuild a PR perspective of what's been a shambolic season, both on and off the park. And whilst there's a great deal of excitement and anticipation about a new era under the 49ers Enterprises group that are in significant talks at the moment to take over the club, none of that takes away from the fact that this season has been massively frustrating both on and off the park, and it's that continues to leave a kind of sour taste in the mouth of many a Rangers supporter, and having ongoing battles between the boardroom and the stands and what you're seeing on social media platforms and message boards once again just adds to this ongoing battle that not everyone at Rangers is all pulling in the same direction, and that continues to be a source of frustration, certainly from this angle. On the park, obviously, it was a 1-1 draw yesterday. Goal from Cyril Dessers just before half time was equalised with a Adam Eder shot that was deflected off John Suter. I think all in all, a draw was probably a fair result on the park, but once again, Nico Raskin with a man of the match performance, and given the eyes that would have been on the game yesterday, it will be unsurprising again that Nico Raskin has been one of the main highlights of, as I said, what's been a very disappointing Rangers season this year. And Rangers will get a big problem this summer when it comes to Nico Raskin, given that he's got 2 years left on his deal. He's at the top end of his curve. He's got a very high profile at the moment, having had an excellent season in what's been a poor Rangers team. And I fully expect that there will be interest in Nico Raskin this summer, and Rangers have to then decide what they do. Do they flip him and try and bring in some money to help with the massively needed rebuild that's required this summer, or do they strap a rocket to him, offer him a new deal, try and build the new team in and around them? Because what you saw from Nico Raskin yesterday was that he was the heartbeat of the Rangers team. He was the one that was in Nick Walsh's ear. He was the equivalent to Cal McGregor for what Cal McGregor was doing for Celtic yesterday. He was the heartbeat of the team. He was the one that was driving forward. He was the one that was trying to score a goal. Obviously, had a goal disallowed for a marginal offside in the first half as well. And that's what Nico Raskin has been for Rangers this year. He's been that driving force. He's been the one that's tried to pull the rest of the team up around them. And whilst we've had players that have been struggling this year to find form, he has been a massive highlight. And I will be massively surprised if Rangers are not trying to shield off bids for Nico Raskin this summer, and it will take a very big bid, I think, to tempt Rangers into cashing in on him. But that might be something that's forced on the team, given that we might not have other big assets to sell this summer. Hamzy Gaman's form once again is kind of tailed off. Again, he was on the bench yesterday. Yefty, who's played an awful lot of football this year. We saw January rumours linking him with Chelsea. He's not kicked on in the 3 or 4 months since the January window, so that would be a massively surprising link if that was to be kind of re-engaged this summer. You've seen Jack Butland drop out the side recently as well, so there's not a huge number of what you would class big money assets there that the Rangers will look to try and cash in on this summer to increase the transfer kitty. But one thing is absolutely for sure: when Rangers take to the field at the start of next season, the starting lineup will have to look very different. to the 11 that started the game at Ibrox yesterday. As I said, full coverage of that match is available over on Patreon. It's patreon.com/the4thofficial. We'll speak to you next time. Big thank you for watching. Goodbye.